Hello there, Mike the MC, bringing another self-care video. The Holy Spirit precedes the Father, and I think that is a very awesome theme as far as in itself sharing with you all what I'm going to talk about today. As far as like, alright, you send your knight out for the king to first go out and into the battle and clear the way. But then before the knight, you can send the scout, right? And then have the scout look at the area before the knight and the king advance. And I think if we look at this idea of a scout for the Holy Spirit with the theme, I think this will kind of lay the foundation for where I want to go with the video. Let me share with you number 246 of the Catechism to share my point. So it states the following. The Latin tradition of the Creed confesses that the Spirit proceeds from the Father and the Son. The Council of Florence in 1438 explains, the Holy Spirit is eternally from the Father and the Son, and he has his nature and subsistence at once from the Father and the Son. He proceeds eternally from both as from one principle and through one inspiration. And since the Father has through generation given to the only begotten Son everything that belongs to the Father, except being Father, the Son has also eternally from the Father, from whom he is eternally born, that the Holy Spirit proceeds from the Son. And so, right, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. We could go back to the metaphor of the king, the knight, and the scout. And in this case, the Father is the king, right? The Son would be the knight, and the Holy Spirit is the scout. And now, right, that is not to say that one is lesser than the other, because the Trinity is one, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit from the spiritual Catholic perspective in this video. And so when you look at it from that idea, okay, they can have their roles. And so the king will send the knight out in advance to protect him, right? And then the knight is going to go into an area, preferably by one that was looked before by a scout. And so when we look at the Holy Spirit as the scout, looking into the world, looking into areas that have not been seen before, you could think of some idea of like a shadow that's over across different areas of the world that needs to be seen, right? That hasn't been discovered yet. And so when we discover for ourselves people in different areas, we discover how people may be good, maybe evil, maybe we have to have those encounters to kind of get an idea of what they're like. What is it that we don't know about them that now after we've had an experience or two with them and we now have a clear picture, it's like, okay, maybe I don't trust that person. Maybe they're going to throw me under the bus when I see that if I'm going to share some time with them and they throw me in front of the bus in front of other people, that's a clear sign to step away, because that means it's a toxic environment. Or if I'm in an environment where my boss wants to talk with me behind the scenes, right, as far as a clarification, okay, that I'm okay with. But the thing is, the scout, he's out there, he's looking in advance to see what is it that has to be discovered in order to protect the knight, as far as for the rest of the army to go in and advance to take out the enemy kingdom. And then for the king, once he steps in, he finally takes his place in that area, that land, to say, all right, we are establishing my kingdom to this area, and now my people, the settlers, the rest of my civilization could come in and cultivate the land. And so when we want to advance, we have to go forward with the Holy Spirit and see who has it, who has that kind of good inclination in their heart. And so thinking about that good inclination, who is it that you resonate with at work, in real life, and in real situations? Who is it that really helps you be motivated to where you feel like you're stuck, but then when you talk with them, you feel uplifted and you're like, wow, I love this person, they're really uplifting me. But you recognize now, okay, if they're now going to tarnish me in front of other people, behind the scenes, etc., okay, let it be. And so then I will advance. I will get out of that situation and help myself move forward. I will get out of there and be ready to proceed with what I have to do, because I realize now that I'm being taken away from my true work, right? And so the king, he has to allow the knights and the scouts to clear up the way for him to do his work, and then to allow the people, the rest of his kingdom, to come into the area to cultivate it, to really make it come to fruition. And so when we think about it from that context, the Holy Spirit really is a scout in many ways, as far as for helping us discern, okay, should I be in this environment? Should I not be in this environment? Should I advance away or move forward? And then allow the army to come in, and then the king, being at yourself, the king of your soul, of who you are, to either stay in this area or to move away, because the scout could tell you, oh, let's stay away from this area, it's just toxic, let's just get away. And the king's like, all right, thank you for telling my army, the knights, and me, the king, let's get out of here and protect the rest of my culture, my civilization. And so the thing is, scouts are very important. And with regard to the Holy Spirit, it is a spiritual connection that you can discern among other people. And so when you build that sense of where people are in your life, how you can discern the good and evil, it'll help you. It'll help you figure out what it is that you, if you want to be with somebody or not, that you can discern, okay, help me, Lord, give me some sign if I want to stay with this person or not. And give me the sign, the clear message to take an action to get away. And I think that is something to proceed upon as far as you feeling safe in a toxic environment to get away from that to a safe one. So just things to consider. But what do you think? Am I wrong in thinking that the Holy Spirit is like a scout? Or what do you think from a Catholic perspective, spiritual idea that the Holy Spirit can be the scout for the night, the sun, and the God, the Father as the king? What do you think? But share in the comments, and I look forward to seeing what you have to say. But thank you all. Hope this video finds you well today. Be strong, courageous. It's almost to a new month, so by the time this video is posted, it will be in the new month probably. So that's exciting to know about in a weird way. That's kind of cool. But let me know what you think, and I look forward to hearing your comments on this video. Take care, everyone. Have a good one.